Hello everyone, welcome to the part 3 of this video. In the first two parts we have seen how you can create a write table where you can write data or update data, uh, have your comments or get the feedback from the end user on the fly within the Qlik application. Then the second video we saw that you might want to see the history and this information you might get deleted after 90 days, so you want to see this. You can have the audit table. We created an API. We're gonna use the same API key and the REST connection, very similar one. And here you see I have this particular asset that has two entries, and it was done by. Now, if I'm trying to see who has done this one, if you see I did not get exactly who is the person, but I get some ID. Okay, so now the objective of this particular video is to get the name of the person in here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to go to added script mod here. Okay, and here we're going to create another REST API. So we're gonna use the same details as the other one that we have used. If you are not sure, go back to my previous video part 2, where you will see this how you can do that. So in order to create this URL, I'm gonna put a URL here. Okay, so you can just have your tenant ID and your region. Okay, and then you don't need to change anything else until you come here to query parameters. I'm gonna use authorization token here, and I'm gonna put bearer and the API key that you have already obtained from the previous API key function. If you don't know, you can check my last video how you get that. Okay, and then I'm going to add query headers. So in this case, in the previous connection we didn't have any query headers, but in this case we're going to have it. So you can have fields. So by the way, this API is basically Qlik standard API where you get user attributes within Qlik, so within Qlik tenant. So it's very standard one. Okay, so you can use it in other areas as well. It's not necessary you use that in audit one. You can get that information for other purposes as well. Okay, so coming back to this one, so it has a lot of other information like groups, etc. But for the sake of this particular one, I'm gonna stick with name and email. That's what I need. I'm gonna click add connection, and then I'm also gonna add limit. So this is a good practice to add some limit. Okay, and then pagination would be next URL, and the next URL path is, it's very similar to the previous one as well. Okay, so I'm gonna click here test connection, and once that, you can create the connection. uh, I have already created a connection, so I'm gonna use that. After you create a connection, you just click here, you go in here, you click in root data here, and you just set script. Okay, and in order to connect that with the previous data model, so I'm gonna come here and see what was the column name here for updated by attribute. So I'm gonna call it as here. Okay, and then I'm going to okay, so sorry, before that we don't need this fk key. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna load the data here. Nice and easy. Okay, and okay, this column field, this table is named as data. I'm gonna keep that for now. You can name that anything like name or person details. And now I'm gonna go to this data table, and I'm going to add name column here. Here you go, you see the name. That's me, the person who has updated these records. Okay, so this is how you can add user attribute who have updated the data, and this particular functionality can be used in other areas as well. As an example, user auditing, who is doing what, and they're combining with certain other key core APIs of the Qlik tenant itself. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.